What we learned in history books about prehistory is mostly a lie. The books that contain the truth were mostly burned when the Library of Alexandria was set on fire. However, the books that truly describe what prehistory was like are hidden in the Vatican's secret library. Did you know that forests were like paradise and that a single tree could reach between 500 and 1,000 kilometers into the sky? Yes, you heard that right, and we have evidence that remains to this day. What if we told you that everything you know about mountains is a lie? That these towering giants which stretch across the earth are not made of rock, but were once colossal trees, far larger than anything we've ever seen? There's a bizarre yet fascinating theory that suggests mountains like Devil's Tower in the US or Giant's Causeway in Ireland are not natural formations, but the remnants of an ancient world, one where trees reached unimaginable heights. Could it be possible that our world once had flora so massive that today's redwoods look like tiny bushes in comparison? Let's dive into the strange world of the giant petrified tree theory. This is Devil's Tower, one of the most iconic geological structures in North America. It stands at a staggering 386 meters tall, almost the same height as the Empire State Building's roof. But look closely at its surface. These strange hexagonal columns, don't they remind you of something? But Devil's Tower isn't the only one. All over the world, we find similar formations. Strange, flat-topped plateaus that look suspiciously like the stumps of enormous trees, tree bark, or more specifically, the structure of certain plants when viewed under a microscope. Mainstream geologists say this formation was created by magma cooling inside a volcano. But what if this was never a volcano at all? What if this was the petrified remains of a tree so large it could have reached miles into the sky? Now, some might say, this is just a coincidence? But what if I told you, Devil's Tower isn't the only example? Take a look at these formations. Giant's Causeway in Ireland, Los Organos in Spain, the Putang-Jirua pinnacles in New Zealand, and the massive flat-top plateaus of Venezuela. They all share one thing in common. They look eerily similar to the stumps of gigantic trees. Could these structures be the fossilized remains of an ancient world filled with massive trees? If these mountain trees once existed, where did they go? What happened to them? Some theorists suggest that an ancient cataclysm, possibly a planetary reset, wiped them out. A comet impact, a planetary war, or something even more mysterious. Over millions of years, organic matter can turn into stone through a process called petrification. This is how we get fossils of ancient forests today. So, could these mountains be the ultimate fossilized trees? The same way a tree stump decays over time and becomes part of the soil? Could it be that the mountains we see today are simply the last remains of an ancient ecosystem? If these were indeed ancient trees, then how big were they? The tallest tree today, Hyperion, 115 meters. Estimated mountain tree size, 2,000 to 5,000 meters, miles high. Trees so large that they could have touched the clouds. Forests that could have covered entire continents. But if these trees existed, then why don't we hear about them in history? Interestingly, many ancient cultures speak of world trees, massive sky-high trees that once connected Earth to the heavens. The Norse spoke of Yggdrasil, a massive cosmic tree that held up the universe. The Bible describes a tree in the Garden of Eden with limitless height. Even in Hindu and Mayan traditions, there are stories of colossal trees linking different realms of existence. Were these just myths? Or ancient memories of a lost reality? So, were mountains once trees? Could it be possible that we are standing on the remains of an ancient world beyond our imagination? The evidence is there, but only if we dare to see it. Imagine a world where forests were larger than cities, where trees reached the clouds, and where the ecosystem was unlike anything we've ever known. But if these trees were real, what happened to them? So, were mountains once trees? Were we once part of a lost world where forests were the size of mountains? Could the rock formations we see today actually be the last remains of a forgotten age? Maybe we will never know, but we have evidence that these mountain-like trees really existed. Just imagine how the world looked back then, what people were like, how long ago it was, and what animals roamed. We may never know for sure, but we can still think a lot about it. If only they would give us those hidden books from the Vatican Library, which has been heavily guarded by the military, maybe we could learn something from that time. All in all, thank you for watching us. Your Space Farmers, as always, brings topics that haven't been discussed much. Our team is talented in these matters. Go ahead and support the channel by subscribing and leave us a comment about what you think of these mountain-sized trees.